This week, we give our 3-week review of the Nintendo Switch 2 hardware. Donkey Kong Bananza Direct has us hyped, and we have a couple of show updates we would love to share with you. If you love Nintendo, come on in. G'day everybody, and welcome to the House of Mario, the South Australian Nintendo podcast that is backed by a 120 Power Star rating. I'm your host, Drew Agnew, and the doors to episode 317 are open. Really excited for this episode, and I'm looking forward to talking to Josh, or JT if you like. Josh, how you going, mate?
Drew, doing very well. Hello, everyone listening. Yeah, it feels a little bit different in here, Drew. Like you've done some randos or something. The house is not quite what I remember it being.
Yeah, a little bit different because we're doing this live. We're doing it through OBS. I've sat down. I've had a bit of a look, see what we can do together. You know, because after last week, you know what happened last week. The news moved so quickly. My internet couldn't handle multiple uploads just to get one episode out. So trying something different, just through doing it live, having it up there straight away and having it recording locally on my end, be very useful. And I don't know, it was always fun, wasn't it? Like we started off doing it, and I actually forgot that. I was looking at my YouTube channel. I went to the live section. I'm like, oh my god, we did a lot of live episodes. I completely forgot, to be honest.
We did, yeah. They were great fun and adds a little bit of a different dynamic to it, I feel. Because I think it'd be fun getting a few other people in the show as we do it as well, because I think that can bring some fun stuff to it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was thinking like there's a feature in Discord where like we can basically be there and we can like drag other people into it. I'm like, that'd be a fun thing to do, but the technical.
By the scruff of the neck, come in here.
Yeah, come in here and talk to us.
Tell us what you think about Nintendo. Come on, make it happen.
Yeah, someone comes in and says, "Oh, I hate it." So, I actually don't play games. Why are you here? I just needed friends.
You can probably go home. All right, we'll leave you to it.
Yeah, we'll
have a good day.
But yeah, I'm excited by it, man. It's I think this is the cleanest my OBS scenes have ever looked, so that's nice. I had no idea you could have different scene collections and things. So I've got different scenes between live streaming and podcasts and all this. I never knew that. I always had like a bunch of stuff just with no names, and I had no idea what was what, and multiple assets were disappearing and all that. But now I've got it all set up. I can swap between us, which is pretty cool. I can go between like Josh, I can go between me, and I can go between both of us, and like the Switch gameplay as well. We've got the House of Mario, and Nintendo podcast is proudly recorded. Wrong button. I hit the wrong button.
What have you done? What's going on?
Yeah, so I'm still getting used to it. I hit all the wrong buttons then, Josh. I hit the credits. I hit the intro again. I'm trying my best.
It's a work in progress, guys. Just bear with us as we get through this.
Yeah. So that was the thing I was most nervous about. Was just like, all right, I've actually got to produce a little bit, because in Riverside it was great because I just sat there and just talked to you, and we'll see how we go. This is like a learning experience for me. Just working it all out. But it should be fun. We're in game chat at the moment too. Yeah. So you can see us over here. There you going. Obviously the podcast you can't, but you can hear the music in the background. We're going to play a game of Mario Kart Battle Mode later in the show. So be sure to tune into that. And hopefully we'll make it fun for, I guess, the podcast audience as well. That's the intention. But I think the idea for stuff like that, it's only going to be like shorter matches anyway, so it should be good. But we'll get into all that. We've got a lot of updates and things I want to talk about. But Josh, how you been over the last week?
Good. Busy. It's been a lot of things going on. Had friends over Saturday nights. Had a really great time showcasing Mario Kart World. Everyone brought like their Switch 2s, and we got to do like up to 8-player local Mario Kart World, which is pretty fun, pretty chaotic, and everyone got around it. The only issue is like everyone had to bring needed to have 4 Switch 2s. Only one of us could use the TV for 2 people, and then so there were 3 other Switch 2s around the place and people around them. But we're all in the same room, so it kind of worked. It was cool. So Absolute Chaos Knockout Tour is all we pretty well played, and yeah, just a few drinks, a few snacks, and it was just a really chill, fun night. I really enjoyed it.
That sounds like fun because I haven't had that
Yeah,
experience yet. The local Mario Kart World multiplayer session yet. It's all been
yeah.
online. And yeah, that sounds cool.
Uh,
So did it work well? Because we were discussing beforehand, like just how to get it all set up between multiple switches and how many people can play on each system. So what was the sort of, I guess, workaround at the end to get everybody on the controller?
yeah, so I wanted to make sure everyone had a nice controller. So it was kind of like getting two people set per console, but then some of the people who brought Switch 2s, a couple of them brought Pro controllers, so that was good, but they only brought one controller. So it was like, okay, I've got old Switch 1 Pro controllers, which are still really good. I can use them. So I had to like connect my controller to other people's individual Switch 2. So I had to take it in turns, one Switch 2 at a time docked, and then putting the connecting cable in to the controller so it would sync to that particular Switch 2. So it was like cumbersome, but we got there. Just trying to like get, okay, this controller is now bundled or like synced up with this Switch 2 now. These are, and then three of us brought Switch 2 Pro controllers, and they're all identical. So we had to keep tabs of which ones was which, whose was who. Because I don't know, I just kind of like mine. I don't want, like someone else, it's like it's mine. It's got a scent to it probably, maybe. I don't know. But I wanted to make sure that, I kept it. So it was kind of like keeping tabs on it when it was like, well, not with me at the time. So those are the little things. And then some people were saying they were using the Joy-Con 2s in a grip, that there was a bit of drifting going on. But we
Really?
reset it and it got fixed. So I had some theories as to whether there was so many controllers that the Switch just didn't know what to do, and that was a bit of a side effect. I don't know, but the two people said they had drifting at one stage, but then later on it disappeared. So crisis averted, I suppose, for now. But like, oh, okay, is that a little hint of what's to come? Maybe, I don't know.
Or hopefully not, because that'll be there's the headline right there. Josh had a party and there was Joy-Con drift. So look out, everyone! It's going to happen. But I'm joking, of course, but hopefully it doesn't. But yeah,
that's the headline.
I 100% agree with you. Like, yeah, if I went to a place, I don't really want to get my controller swapped or anything. Yeah, over the last few weeks, we've made bonds with our inanimate objects that we play games with.
It's gotten to know each other, I feel, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I feel like I would know mine because for whatever reason, on the A button has like a scuff line down it. And like, I won't be able to show you, but
okay.
Yeah, it's just got like a bit of like a rub line on it. And it wasn't from me. It was like, yeah, from the factory. So kind of frustrating, but really not enough to even think about, especially when you're playing.
It's your little signature, makes yours.
That's right. So yeah, if I was at your place, well, hey, look at the A button, guys.
Would have been able to tell.
Yeah, I'll know what's going on. But I'm glad you had some fun playing Mario Kart World. And I'm looking
great. Yeah, it was really good.
It's in that type of situation, it would be like really funny. Like, how many people you said you have there?
There was 8 of us. So and there were only 4 Switch 2s between all of us. So it worked out perfectly. So if there was a 9th person, it would have been like, I don't know what we do. But we had just enough Switch 2s so that the maximum amount of people. So it was great.
Because it would be funny, like if I game chatted in, so everybody's just got to put up with my bullshit on the TV. I'm just chirping and everyone's like, who is this guy? Just through his like Switch 2 microphone, just chatting away. Just say the most heinous stuff because I don't have I met everybody who came over, or they just another group.
They were all at the wedding, so you might have met them or seen them in some capacity.
Yeah,
all the blokes there were at the Bucks, and all the girls were bridesmaids. So
yeah, probably would have known them a bit then. So
a little, yeah.
So they could have put up my crap. If I just like, you see that little Philbit icon pop up in the corner, you're like, oh fuck, oh no,
I know,
Drew's calling.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to having a night like that too. Maybe with Mario Party Jamboree, whether it is online, I don't care. I'm looking forward to
doing we played that as well, which is good. And looking forward to having that with the camera mini games as well, because I think that would have been the one extra thing that could have extra like fun moment having the camera there and everyone there as well. So yeah, next month.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I did see you. You did actually pop online, playing Mario Party Jamboree while I was on the Switch. I'm like, oh,
Yes.
yeah, Josh is having his game night. He's whipping it out.
I whipped it out, and I got Mario Party Jamboree out for everyone as well.
That's right. You know,
Hey-yo.
just impress them with all the goods, with the game skills, with the whipping out.
Correct. Yep. There's multiple things.
Yeah, no, it's a lot to get excited about. Which I guess a little segue. Stuff to get excited about, Josh. I've got some exciting things just to add to the show, which I'm pretty excited about. But before we, I guess, get into that type of thing, I just want to sort of cover I've written here content creation and mental health. I just feel like the last few, I don't know, weeks or however long, I felt like pretty down about the content, and people in the House of Mario Discord would have seen just how I was feeling about it. But yeah, so I posted in there basically saying like the House of Mario Discord is being closed down, and that came from a place just like of seeing it pretty empty, and it just made me feel a bit down, a bit sad, and all of that. So I was sort of like, all right, I need to reevaluate and work out the content. So that's when I was like sitting down and doing the live streams and trying to shake up the show and things like that. So I'm like, I sort of just want to put that to the side and not have it weigh me down so much. But through it becoming like a little bit more serious and seeing, some people's comments about how they felt about it, I felt, honestly pretty bad that I'll take maybe some of that community aspect away from some of the people that really have supported me over the last, some people even 8 or 7 years. So I'm like, no, I can't do that. And I don't want to lose touch with those people. Like, I do have Blue Sky, I do have other Discords and all this type of thing. But I didn't want to sort of lose the small group that we've had. So when I started up a new Discord channel, and it's called iDruby's Homestead. And the idea that it's like a zoom out. Yeehaw! It's zoomed out from the House of Mario. So it's all the land around the House of Mario as well. And it encompasses more of the content on my YouTube channel, through the iDruby Games cast, other videos, all of that type of stuff. It's not just the House of Mario. That Discord was set up 8 years ago. And Bryce was the admin. So I actually didn't have a lot of permissions to do that many things. I was basically a moderator, but I did say that I was going to delete the channel, and I actually can't. I can't do anything, so I've got to get him to do archive it or delete it or whatever have you. So brand new Discord channel. I'm going to start pushing that a lot more. I'd love people who listen to the show to join us in there, the iDruby Homestead. And there's a lot of great people in there. It's a small community, and I want to sort of want to try and foster it a little bit more, and more interaction in the show and all of that. So pretty cool. So it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
it'll be really good.
Yeah,
and for anyone out there as well, thinking, having those troubles, I think, like, obviously, like, Drew, we had a good chat on the weekend, and I think I felt better after that, and I think you felt better after that as well. Just anyone out there, just reach out to friends and people that you know and love, and I think it's so important to sort of be honest and just be nice to others, because they just don't know what they're going through. So just such an important thing to do. So even if you see people being hateful online, I don't know, just sometimes hatred and being not nice back isn't the way to go about it. So I love the name, Drew, what you've come up with the Homestead. I think that's really great and a really good concept encompassing all the stuff that you do. So anyone listening, watching, just check out the Discord, and we'll make it grow and buzz.
Yeah, no, I agree. And there's a lot of work to do and all of that, but should be good fun. So once again, link in the show notes. There's an invite. Go and check it out. It should be good. And
it'd be great.
And like we said, we are going to be live streaming the House of Mario around 8:30 p.m. Australian Central Standard Time. I will do the conversion in the future for people around the world, in the States, other parts of Australia, all of that. But for now, if you are interested, just chuck it into a time zone converter and figure it out if if you can. But yeah, the idea for that is just recording it on my end, and then it's easier to upload. We'll be able to turn it around a lot quicker, because last week Josh and I actually recorded an episode in Game Chat, and in that episode, basically the recording went at like 1 frame a minute, because apparently my computer can't do 4K capture, which I thought it would be able to. You know, it's got a 3070 Ti graphics card and plenty of RAM and all that, but it just didn't seem to work. So this week I've come back, I've done the settings and worked it out a little bit more, and should be good. And
Be good.
I think the thing with the other week too is what happened is basically the Donkey Kong Bananza Direct got announced. We talked about it, and I just couldn't get the turnaround quicker before the actual Direct happened. So that was sort of one of the biggest, like, the wake up calls for that. Is just with news coming from, I guess, Nintendo at such a rapid pace, we've switched to, and the Nintendo Weekly app and all of this type of thing. I need to be able to get episodes up pretty much the night we record it. So yeah, they're the changes on the back end, which will be fun. And we've got a couple more segments to the show. One which I actually haven't talked to you about, Josh, but I think you'll enjoy it.
Ooh, okay.
Just basic. We've talked about it before, but each month we'll pick a game from Nintendo Switch Online, and we will just talk about it a little bit week to week, how much we've been playing it. The community in the Discord can get involved in it as well. So yeah, I reckon that'll be fun. We'll choose a game today, and I was going to get like a wheel and like do a wheel spin, but that seems like I didn't have the time to put all the names in.
Make a wheel, Drew. Make a wheel.
So
make a wheel, Drew. Make a wheel.
What do you think about this episode of basically asking ChatGPT? What do you reckon?
I mean, what else are they good for? Let's do it.
Yeah, that's right. Just tell us what game.
Make a wheel, Drew.
And I guess the segment we're most excited about is basically a new friendly tournament between Josh and I called the House Brawl, and it's a week-to-week tournament where Josh and I play a random Nintendo game, and it will only be quick. It might be 3 minutes, or hell, maybe we'll just want to play Knockout Tour one day when we don't care about the 10-minute match during a podcast. But we'll see. But the idea is week to week we'll play a game, and the winner of that particular week, they get a little prize, and the other person gets a little punishment, which will be fun. It will be in jest. It won't be too serious. And then whoever has the best tally at the end of the month wins the month, and whoever wins the most months at the end of the year also, they get a bit of a, don't know what they'll get.
Prize.
We'll come up with that.
We'll come up with something.
We'll come up with something.
That sounds good. I like it.
It's all fun. All good.
We've tried some different games through that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this week we're doing Mario Kart Battle Mode, which will be good fun. And I've always complained about it having a 3-minute timer. And for this, I'm like, it's got a 3-minute timer. That's useful.
I'm so going to lose this. Drew is amazing at battle mode.
Maybe.
So I've got no chance here.
That had really dumb CPUs to pick on, though. This will just be you and I. Unless you want to put CPUs on.
We'll see.
We'll get to that.
I don't mind. We can do ChatGPT for that too if you want.
So ChatGPT, should we put CPUs on? So it really depends. Do you want more of a challenge, a one-on-one showdown between Drew and Josh, or do you want just a more casual experience? That's my best ChatGPT impression.
That was all right. Not bad.
Not too bad. So yeah, that's as far as the housekeeping goes. But Josh, you have a new episode of Nintendo Maniacs coming out very soon, if I am correct. So what's that all about, mate?
Yes. Recorded on Sunday, so it'll be out hopefully very soon. I had Andrew come on the show, and Andrew is someone I met in Japan while I was on my honeymoon. Oh. So we had some retro video game crossover. So we talked about that. He's got a really great Nintendo collection, But on top of that, we went over some top third-party games you might want to play on your Switch too. So like the top releases that came out on launch. We're going to go over the pros and cons. So yeah, check that out if you're thinking of venturing outside of a Nintendo first party.
How dare you?
How dare you? I know.
Yeah.
We don't usually do it as Nintendo fans. We're usually pretty happy with our Marios and Zeldas at launch. But yeah, if you want something else, listen to the episode.
There'll be somebody out there with a Switch too, and the first game they've ever played not made by Nintendo, Cyberpunk, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, my kids can't play this. This is too graphic. There's a willy on the character create screen.
There's the story.
there's
story, voice
right.
acting.
Yeah,
the graphics are really good. What's going on?
What is this? I didn't know this existed.
What is this?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, go and check that out. It's I'm looking forward to listening to it myself. Out in
the next couple of days.
Excellent. All right, Josh, let's jump to the topic of the show. And I was thinking just of like what to make the topic, and I don't want to make the whole topic just like Donkey Kong Bananza. Really looking forward to jumping into our thoughts on that direct. But I thought we'll just make it our Switch 2 hardware review. You know, we've had three weeks with it. I think we're pretty confident in our thoughts and what we think of the hardware, what needs to be improved, what we really like. So I thought it'd just be a fun little topic to discuss here, which would be good. But I guess for me, just really quick thoughts before I'll hand it off to Josh. But I really like the Switch 2. I think it's great. It feels premium. It's exactly what I wanted hardware wise, and I'm looking forward. It really makes me excited to play games on it. I think that's the most important thing. It's just it feels good to play everything from the Joy-Cons to the Pro controller. Docking it on the TV looks great with the DLSS, and playing it at 1440 and 4K and all that. It's been really, really great. And for the most part, I've just played Mario Kart. So I really need to sort of dive out and play some other stuff. But what are your thoughts, Josh?
Oh, I'm just like, as someone who's gone from the original Switch to the Switch 2 now, like this is a huge upgrade for me. Premium's a word you said, and that's the one thing I think of when I'm looking at this Switch 2 here. Just absolutely premium. Feels very nice. Just the design of it, slick looking. And then not just the console itself, but like I look at the Pro controller and they fix a lot of the issues, like especially the D-pads, but then the glide sticks are just so much nicer to move around. It does feel like gaming's hit that next level from a Nintendo standpoint. So, I don't know, Drew, have you looked at your old original Switch and compared it or even like tried to hold it? I hold it now. I'm like, man, how did I I don't know. It's just funny how quickly you can become unused to something that we were used to for 8 years. I just look at this now and it feels so small and cheap and I don't view it the same way as I used to.
Yeah, I've got my OLED right here, and yeah, it's kind of night and day. It just feels so much more premium.
Yeah.
Than like even the OLED. Like the OLED feels great. It's got like a metal body, and for the most parts, like the Joy-Cons and that, it feels quite nice. It's got like that sort of matte touch on the original Joy-Cons as well. But yeah, that extra size, the new buttons all over it just feel great. Like the clicky bumpers, the triggers. Like the face buttons, I love how they're bigger and they got that click to them as well. I really like the sticks, even though they're not like full sticks, but you'll find on a traditional controller or like a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally. I really like them, just the fact that they're not like, they don't get in the way too much, which is something that like when I'm trying to take my Steam Deck in my backpack or something, it's just, sort of gets in the way a little bit, and I've got to put a big case over it and things like that. But yeah, the Switch, for the most part, in my backpack, I got like an iPad sort of spot where I can put iPads and tablets and laptops. I just take the Joy-Cons off, and then I'd slide it in like a tablet, and I just put the Joy-Cons in a little pocket, and it's it's really easy to transport like that, which is great. That's what, obviously I did that with the original Switch too, so that's not exactly new, but overall, like the hardware, I'm still really happy with it. I was a little bit nervous that, and we still could be to some extent, and we might be for like the next few years, but I really hope this isn't like a honeymoon situation where we're like, oh, it's so good, but then it's like, after a while we start to see the the problems and all of that. And I dare say we will over time, just with certain games not performing or whatever, like in another 3-5 years. But right now, just after buying the thing, I'm really happy with it. And I was with my original Switch too.
Yeah.
Switch as well, not my Switch 2, but my original Switch.
Yeah, I mean, it'll happen eventually, won't it? But for now, I think we're a fair way off that feeling of it not feeling premium. So, yeah, just lap it up while it's feeling like this.
Yeah, that's sort of my intention anyway, because I want to play like more third-party games on it. I've got some ready to go that I actually want to get into when the Mario Kart itch is worn off. But Mario Kart itch hasn't really worn off, which is most of the problem. But I think it'll sort of show its colors a little bit more when we actually have more third-party games and more indie games that are actually coming to Switch too, rather than just Switch. Because at the moment, like, there aren't that many games. Like, you've got the launch games, but there aren't any indie games coming out that also have Switch 2 versions, apart from like Deltarune that came out at launch. But even like even Borderlands 4, which I was looking forward to because it was going to be like the first day and date big third-party game coming to the platform. It's actually not coming out the same time anymore. It's coming out at a later date in 2025, which is a bit disappointing. Obviously, they needed the extra development time, but yeah, it seems like the software is probably a little bit slower than what we would hope or like as far as that comes out. But we'll just have to play Donkey Kong next month and put up with that, I guess.
Oh, I've got plenty to keep me occupied, and yeah, those announcements they'll come surely.
Yeah. So what do you think about like the actual Pro Controller? Because my opinion on the Pro Controller hasn't changed since I first got my hands on it, but it just feels so nice. I love like the matte finish on it. The sticks are probably the standout on the system, just in the fact that like they feel so smooth as like you're playing with it, and it hasn't really just the whole fact that they're like that hasn't worn off on me yet. Because every time I'm like playing with them, I'm just like, yeah, it feels good. But I still haven't tested the D-pad enough, because like the games I have played, they have played fine, but I haven't played like any hectic platformers or anything like that to really test it, because like on the original Pro Controller, the D-pad did give you like false inputs and things like that, and it was kind of very frustrating to play with. So we'll see how it goes in due time. But from my experience so far, it feels better, at least. But I know that wasn't really something that bothered you too much with the Pro Controller.
No, not as much. But yeah, it's a great controller, and it's better now, having come from the Switch 1. Yeah, so it just, because it's got those extra things like the D-pad now, that they are better for sure. And then now it's got the glide sticks, which is amazing. I'm just like, yeah, this thing's like the way to play your Switch 2 games. I feel a bit naked without it sometimes.
Yeah, it's like if I was playing with any of my other like Switch Pro controllers, or even like my 8-bit Do one or whatever, I'm like, I really don't want to use them. And it's one of those things where it is good that Nintendo included the feature to be able to use older Pro controllers and things. And a lot of people, they spent so much money on the system and in games that you really don't necessarily want to go and spend another $120. So it's like, yeah, fair enough. But honestly, it's kind of worth it. Like, instead of getting a cheaper controller, or maybe keeping some of your controllers that you have already, I actually would say it's probably worth to just sell some and save the money from a cheaper controller and actually save up for this controller. Honestly, I think it's you would really appreciate using it, especially like if you're a bigger Nintendo fan and you are playing on Switch 2 quite a bit. I reckon it's a good asset to have. But yeah, it's pretty cool. What about like the actual home menu and things like that? Like it's all pretty much the same, but I think the extra like sound effects and clicks and clacks, and just the fact that it has HDR and outputs at a higher resolution, I think that makes a big difference to me. I just love like the little clicks as you're going through your virtual game cards and going through all your options. It just feels like a really responsive interface that's just fun to interact with, which I really like. Like, I love the PlayStation 5 dashboard, for example. You get plenty of information about what your friends are doing, and you can easily tab over to media and all of that. And what I like about the Switch is like, all right, I'm not going to be watching Netflix here because like I do use my PlayStation for that. I'm not going to be, looking at my trophies and seeing what my friends are up to and all of that on Switch too. Unfortunately, would be nice to have more of those features built into the system, but it at least gets you to your games nice and snappy. Bringing up game chat is pretty good with the C button as well. I'd like more information regarding like the C button when you press it, just like actually easily be able to see who's online straight away just from the press of the button rather than just like a few options. But yeah, the interface is pretty good. I don't know. Have you thought about it much, or are you just like, yeah, it's the same?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely notice everything different. Like you're looking at like extra icons at the bottom with the game share, obviously the game chat, and then like everything's got a sound to it now. So I really like all the different little sounds and chirps that the Switch 2 does. There's small things, but adds a bit more personality to the system, which I think's really great. The eShop is a big one for me. That UI change and whole revamp of that store. It's really snappy and quick, and the wish list is so much better now. You can filter it by things that are on sale, because you usually, if you've got a wish list, you're probably waiting for a sale, so you can filter it by that. Even got recommendations on what you might want to purchase. That gets updated every Saturday. The charts have pretty much gotten rid of shovelware, so those $2 87% off sale items. It's all about units sold, or revenue, rather than units sold. And so, that sort of gets rid of those ones a bit more. So it's just quicker. So, while it's, it's very familiar, it's still like the right changes have been made overall to get a more seamless, smooth experience, which is good.
It's so important that they got that eShop right, and hopefully it will be right over the next 5-8 years, however long the system goes, because it always baffled me just the interface that they get their money from, where it's like, this is like the endpoint where you sell us your product. You can't have it just lagging like it did. Like some people, like you can imagine how many people would have just given up and not bought a game that they would have if they were exploring the sales, or even if they were going for something like specific, being like, all right, I want to buy Donkey Kong, and they go in there and they just like, oh, just don't worry. Don't. I'll go into a shop and then you might be distracted and buy something on Xbox or something instead. You never know. So yeah, it's just like,
true.
So who knows? Like, yeah, it's always just so baffling to me. Like you've got to get this right, and it looks like they have. And I've spent like certainly a lot more time just in there, just like in the sales section, seeing what's going on. You can just like hover over it, and then the trailer starts playing, which is really useful, which I do quite often on other platforms and YouTube and all of that as well. So yeah, I really enjoy the eShop. I put some cash in there the other day. I got $200 worth of vouchers because there was 10% off at Big W. So like, I spent probably $70 just on like cheaper games, just going through, adding to the wish list. And I go into the wish list and I actually decide what I want to get. Like, all right, I actually do want Digimon World, $10. Let's do it. And other stuff as well. Got Undertale because I want to play Deltarune. I got
yes, yep.
I think I did like when I originally played Undertale. I played it on PlayStation Vita, and talking about sticks, those got like little tiny sticks, and you got to be very precise in some of those battles, moving your heart around, like those bullet hell sections. And I'm like I can't do this. So maybe if I use these nice smooth sticks, maybe that's what I need.
Yeah, like you would go back to that Vita now, and it was kind of a switch before its time, wasn't it? But a lot more premium, the stuff we've got now, that's for sure.
Yeah, the Vita was great. I loved it. I love it very much, and I still love it. I kind of miss handhelds being that size and being able to go into your pocket. That was the start of the handhelds that didn't fit in your pocket very well because of like the sticks rubbing against, like getting caught in your pocket as you put it in and feeling a little bit awkward. And that was the start of it. And now here we are with Switch 2. That's it's not great in the pocket. And last time I put my Switch in my pocket and I took off my Joy-Cons to make it fit better, I ended up my Joy-Cons went through the wash because I never took them out my jacket pocket. and they still work
Oh
fine.
dear.
They
Oh
still worked
no.
fine, which is hilarious.
Well, that's amazing. Amazing.
The only thing is just like the play indicator light didn't work. That was like the only thing, which is funny. I don't know
I mean,
how I got away
overall,
with
it's
that.
pretty good. You take that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I think we touched on most of it. We went over it pretty quick, but we've got the rest of time to talk about Switch 2 and what we what we think of it. But yeah, I'm still just really impressed with it. And I'm glad that even 3 weeks in, it hasn't like lost its luster. Because I'm hearing a lot of people describe how they feel about Switch 2, and a lot of it is just like, oh, it's just like a Switch Pro. And I got to push back on that sentiment because yes, it is just it is an iteration on Switch. It's got like a couple more features like mouse mode. It's got a fair bit under the hood like DLSS, and it's able to output a fair bit with the dock and all that. But to say that it's only a Pro is just crazy because the idea of going from like, I guess like the Pro moniker, we'll go over the PlayStation as an example, like PS4 to PS4 Pro. What that was able to do with the Pro version is just play games at a better frame rate, some case in upscaled 4K. But apart that was it. It was just if you have a 4K TV, probably look into the Pro version. But like the Switch 2, it's got a massive jump in just graphics capability, which if you've ever played on Switch, you know how dated that hardware was and how desperately we needed a brand new system. And if Switch 2 is if it is just what they're calling it is like a Switch Pro, then like what's the difference between like PS1 and PS2 and then PS3, and same with Xbox and all of that? So it's like, well, it does the same thing. It's got like a similar controller and it just looks better. I don't know. Like this is that logic doesn't really make much sense to me because like I don't know. It's just I find it kind of frustrating only because a lot of people were just saying how shit Switch was. Like, oh, look, why would you play on that piece of crap type of thing? And it got like looked down on. And I was at the point too where I'm like, man, these games just aren't running well. But I still enjoyed my Switch, just the form factor and everything, and the portability and being able to dock it and use it that way. But I feel like a lot of people have kind of forgotten like what it was like to play on Switch, and that's pretty evident just from this new hardware brute forcing through backwards compatibility and making older Switch games great even without patches. So, yeah, just it frustrates me a little bit just when I hear that. But
Yeah, no, that's fair enough because in some ways you can't please everyone. We didn't get a huge graphical upgrade, did we, from Wii U to Switch? But the form factor was so different in what everyone wanted, and that was the main thing they could have done in that generation. And now the form factor is what we want. We don't want that to change. So Nintendo's improved it in other ways, and it feels like a bigger jump graphically from Wii U to Switch, and it definitely is. And so, we're getting more of the same, but better. And so, I think, yeah, some of those things are pretty big, and it's pretty early days. So I think there's going to be some titles that come out that are really going to surprise and amaze some people, and it might be a bit more evident then.
Yeah, hopefully. Because at the moment, I don't know. I think Mario Kart World is great. Like I'm having so much fun with it, but it's definitely not the jump we had from, say, Mario Kart Wii or Mario Kart 7 to Mario Kart 8. Like Mario Kart 8, it felt truly special and new. But Mario Kart World, it looks better, but it doesn't look that much better. But I think it's other games that might prioritize other things, like maybe the graphical fidelity and things that maybe that it will be a better use case for people that do feel that way. But
sure.
Yeah, it's just Mario Kart's a hard one. It's just like everybody loves it, but I think a lot of people who do love it also just feel kind of like, oh, I'll just play the Nintendo 64 one. Like it's all Mario Kart. It doesn't really matter for like maybe a big group of the audience, but hardcore Nintendo fans were like, oh, I want to hit those P switches.
Want to do it? Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep, make it happen.
So, yeah. And anything else on just the Switch 2 hardware before we move on to Donkey Kong?
I like very impressive overall. The camera's cool and smaller than I expected. I think the camera surprised a few people. Just wanted to call that out. I think people are slowly starting to warm to it and see the benefit to it. because I think at first a lot of like, oh, why would I bother doing that? Or that doesn't seem that interesting. Why are they talking a lot about game chat Nintendo? And I don't know, just from the experiences I've had, I'm like, yeah, it's a really cool, fun way to sort of bring some extra fun to some games, because Nintendo is all about playing with others mainly, and yeah, game chat's a great way to add to it.
Yeah, totally. I've just swapped over to like my camera, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Like it's such like a wide angle lens that I'm used to. Like for example, like behind me, I've got like my kids area, but the wide angle lens, it picks up like way too much. Picks up way too much. Picks up all the mess in the room. I'm like, oh dear. Give me that piranha plant where you can't see anything because it's just so blurry.
Pixely, doesn't matter. Yeah. But yeah, the wide lens, the filters, it's like a Microsoft Teams app on your Switch. It's good. It's got all the things you need.
Yeah, you can use it for work. That'd be cool.
I could. Honestly could if I wanted to. I won't.
Do you want
to?
to?
I won't. No. Let's not mix work and this.
That makes work and pleasure. That's right. You're a gentleman.
Yeah, correct.
You're a gentleman.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, the hardware is nothing without the games. And the next game we're really looking forward to is Donkey Kong Bananza, coming out on the 17th of July, which will be a bonanza of a time. So we got a Nintendo Direct focused on this game, 15 minutes. Josh and I have actually already talked about this game. We talked about it over at Nintendo Maniacs. We did a half an hour discussion, literally straight off of the Direct. So those were our just hot takes straight off. And I don't want to go over everything here, Josh, but I just want to sort of, I guess, say that I am so much more excited for this game now. I was very much like a 5 out of 10 hype radar for the game, especially after playing it. I feel like the demo that we played at the Switch 2 experience was very much just like, oh, look, you're just smashing around collecting things, and it's fun, it's cool. And especially for me, where I got motion sick from playing the game because the frame rate fluctuated so much, the camera was going around. I'm like, man, I'm not that fussed about this game, and it's making me sick. I'm like, oh, well. So my hype was pretty low, but after seeing all of like the stuff that we saw during the Direct, I'm like, yes. It really does look like a sequel to, Mario Odyssey or whatever, which is just a perfect thing, which is a very, very exciting, I guess, change of opinion for me. I'm happy that I feel this way now. It's not much fun feeling the other way. So I all aboard the hype train, toot toot. But how are you feeling after this Direct?
Oh, like the Direct sold me. Oh, sorry, not true. So I was sold from the announcement in April. I was pretty like excited, and I just knew that we needed this Direct because we hadn't seen a lot outside of that initial teaser, and there's still a lot of unanswered things about like what this game is really about, how depthful it is, and it pretty much answered everything we needed to know, I feel. So if you watch this Direct and you're not excited afterwards, I don't think this is the type of game for you, because I think they did a great summary. They added a lot of new information that we didn't know, and this is going to be like a really like fun-filled 3D platformer, and we're going to see DK in a completely different light, I feel, and I honestly can't wait. So it's going to be a bit under 4 weeks now, and it's going to be one of those great launch window titles that really helps to, I think, catapult the Switch 2 even further from the really strong start. So really excited about the redesign. The characters look really fun. It's going to be quite musical from the looks of it, with the Pauline and some of the challenges we saw. And the soundtrack's amazing. Absolutely like stunning. Just really great music being put together. So I was pretty hyped beforehand. I'm really hyped now. And 17th of July can't come soon enough.
Yeah, I agree. And like when the box art got leaked by Nintendo Korea, I think, just like Pauline on Donkey Kong's back, when I saw that, I'm like, that looks like a really cool concept. I love the idea of like having them as a dynamic duo, even more than Diddy Kong, or especially more than Oddrock. Like Oddrock, I'm like, well, it's fun, a bit boring. Just Donkey Kong's companions are rock. It could be literally anything else. It'd be a little bit more exciting. But yeah, so I was excited for that. So going into this, my biggest hope was just that was real. And really there was probably no chance of it not being real. I don't know why an outlet of Nintendo would have like just like a fake box art that they accidentally leaked. It'll be a very strange situation, but
I mean,
stranger things have
potential.
happened. Yeah.
I mean, I think they literally, yeah, they did a whole Marvel Cinematic trailer dupe of us and showed a rock over when it wasn't meant to be. So whether they're trying to keep it secret for a while, I'm not sure. But yeah,
Yeah, like I'm really glad they did it because my hype is so much higher now. But just think about if we just played the game. Like they never actually revealed that, and like it was just like, oh look, you got Odd Rock, and then you progress through the game for half an hour, and then it hatches or transforms or whatever it does into Pauline. You're like, oh wow, like why you're actually playing the game? That would have been pretty cool. It probably would have been spoiled long before I actually got to it by reviewers and people that played it straight away as it launched, and people that got access to it off of a truck, and like there's lots of things that could have happened, but that could have been a pretty cool possibility. But it was not to be. But I needed the hype. I needed it now. There's no waiting. It's like, no, I need my script now, doctor. I'm not waiting. I'm sick. I need to be hyped for Donkey Kong, please. But as soon as it played that music at the start, I was like, oh my god, like there's a singer, there's Pauline, and like you said, the music. I'm like, this is amazing. I'd be almost just as hyped if it was just a soundtrack releasing on the 17th. Just the fact that it's a full game is a bit of a bonus, but all of that vocalized music, I loved it. I can't wait to hear the full version. I really hope it comes to Nintendo Music relatively soon, within the year. I'll love to listen to it as it goes along. But so like even like it's got a Donkey Kong rap in there, which is great. Jungle Hijinks, just like a bunch of I guess reimaginations, remixes, all of that type of thing. And the fact that I guess the music's one of the collectibles as well. Like that's even better. It's got like a music player that you can play in your bass. So there was so many things just with the music. I'm excited for Pauline and the music, let alone all the costumes that you can get, the transformations into an ostrich, into a zebra, into a Bananza Kong, like all of that silly stuff. There's going to be, I assume, more of those forms as you go throughout the game. Just it seems like there's a lot, which is cool. I do hope that frame rate is sorted out so I don't get sick, because I'm going to be even sadder if I'm sitting here with motion sickness now.
yeah. I hope so, and I hope it was just you were so close to the screen that it was just an inevitability. So yes, fingers crossed, because yeah, it's too good. It feels to have motion sickness deny you playing it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, because I was pretty sick, honestly. Like, I was sat pretty close to a TV. Yep. And my only hope is that, like, in handheld mode with VRR enabled, it will smooth out those frames for me, and I'll be able to play with no worries. But yeah, I don't know. I sort of when it comes to previews, you can't really be like, oh, they will fix it in the end version. It's just like that's what they decided to show, so that's what I'm going with until I actually play it. Just to make sure I'm prepared for disappointment in case it happens. But yeah, no, very excited for it, Josh. I can't wait for it now. A lot of people were sort of looking at it being like, oh, look, it looks cool, but Mario will be here soon. And that's pretty much not soon, but that's sort of the thought I had. Like, all right, Donkey Kong's here, but next year or two, I want the Mario game. And now, hopefully, it's going to sort of quell that appetite a little bit. Be like, all right, I'm full. And then the plumber will come around maybe next year or the year after. Maybe. Potentially.
Maybe. It's the same team. It's going to be later than that, I feel, unless they've really worked well doing two games at once. But I'm thinking it's going to be a bit after.
Yeah, I think that's the expectation to have, because if they did have two teams, or they shelved it for a little bit and had like simultaneous development schedules, then that'll be a nice bonus for us, won't it? We'll get to spend $110 closer together than we thought. So that'll be nice. That'll be nice for our wallets.
Yes.
Like, oh, look, I can buy more games from Nintendo. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
I mean, what else are we going to do?
That's right. We go to work. We just got all this cash just laying around.
Just got to spend it on stuff.
No, it's certainly it's not hard to spend it, is it? Bloody bill comes in. I've got bills literally Right here. I got to pay. Electricity bill.
No, don't want to hear about it.
Water bill.
No,
Christ. No Donkey Kong
water
bill.
should be free.
No Donkey Kong bills coming yet. I haven't
Yet.
pre-ordered it. So you've got it pre-ordered, the physical copy?
Yes, I do. Yes. That might be my first physical game. I'm buying Switch 2 at this rate.
Oh, you looking forward to having the one on the shelf?
Yeah, the collection will start. Yep,
It'll
pretty
start.
keen.
So the obsession will kick in. So you haven't been converted to digital yet with Mario Kart and a couple of review codes. You're still like, no, I will have my physical shelf.
Well, not fully converted. No, no. Having both is great, and I think Mario Kart World being digital is a good one to have. Makes it a lot easier. But DK Bonanza is definitely one to warrant a physical, I reckon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Just that box art, especially with Pauline now. Really nice. Really nice. I guess talking about physical things, that amiibo, Josh, got that bad boy pre-ordered.
Oh, yeah. Same here.
Yeah. You sent me the text message being like, hey, the amiibo's up. I'm like, is it? Over to EB Games, put down the $10. Here we go. Like, it's a really nice amiibo.
Did you go in store or did you go
Just
online?
Online. I was
You did it online. Okay.
I was sharing at the time, and we had a mob changeover. Had a bit of time, so I like leant over on my phone and put down the $10. Earning money, spending money, just bam, in out. You know, easy.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
yeah. So yeah, really looking forward to it, mate. I hope it comes out soon, like right now. I saw somebody posted over in your Discord actually that maybe previews are going out soon. I'm kind of like,
yes.
I've seen enough
Yes.
now. Leave me alone. I don't want to know what you think. Maybe just talk to me about the frame rate and that's it. I don't need to know anything
Just
else.
channel it out. Don't need to know.
Yeah, because for games that I am,
I'm glad
really,
they're getting it before a release day. That's good.
Yeah, which is new for Switch 2, I guess. Be like the first game we actually get a preview of, which would be pretty cool. 'Cause yes, the third-party games, don't know, they're not very happy, Josh. Didn't get their
Maybe
time in
not.
the sun. I guess we'll quickly touch on this. Just like a big headlines going around. This is from like, I guess Nintendo Life. They got their headline is third-party launch games on Switch 2 reportedly sold very low numbers, and this comes from a report from Kiss Dring at the game business. And I thought I'll just read through some of the dot points. Basically, the too long didn't read for this is that a non-sourced person at a particular publisher said that that certain game, we don't know what it is, sold less than even the lowest expectations. So you hear that, so, oh shit, that sounds pretty bad. But we don't know what game it is. We don't know whether it was like a Square Enix game, for example, that, they're never happy with sales. Maybe it was Sega with Sonic and they were expecting a lot because it's a Sonic game, and people looked at it and said, I've already got the game, plus it's a game key card and I don't want to get it. Like there's potentially a few reasons why it didn't go as well. But over on the games business, they just got dot points here just saying, what are the numbers? And so I'll read them out here just for a bit of context. So 62% of Switch 2 physical game sales in the US on launch week were from first-party games, excluding Mario Kart World Bundle. So it doesn't include that. So a lot of games were first-party. So I guess only 38% were third-party. So all of those games having to compete with each other would be pretty tough. So 48% of Switch 2 physical game sales in the UK on the launch week were from first-party games, and that was excluding the Mario Kart bundle. 86% of Switch 2 physical game sales in the UK on the launch week were from first-party games, including the Mario Kart World bundle. In comparison, the launch of Switch 1, 89% of UK physical game sales were from first-party games. And that's an interesting sort of comparison, but the Switch 1 launch was so much smaller. There was only like 5 third-party games, like physically on Switch. And when you're up against Breath of the Wild, when it's just like, what was it, like Bomberman R, and like can't remember what else was physical. I can't remember. I didn't buy physical at launch, so I can't remember what was physical. But like those games compared to Breath of the Wild, you're probably going to go Breath of the Wild. Like you probably should. If you didn't, shit. Like you probably messed up a bit. So yeah. The launch for the launch month for Switch 1 in the US, 81% of physical US game sales were from first-party games. CD Projekt's Cyberpunk 2077 was the best-selling third-party game during the launch of the Switch 2, beating the launch sales of The Witcher 3 on Switch 1. Sega was the third biggest publisher on Switch 2 at launch. And when it comes to games released both physically and digitally, 80% of Switch 2 game sales came from physical retailers. So, interesting. Digital being such a big thing these days, and it seems like at least here, it seems like a lot were still through retailers doing it physically, even though we've got the key card situation, things like that. But I guess to start off with, Josh, I dare say you've seen this news beforehand, seen that going around the Nintendo blogs and all of that. But what was your sort of first thought when you saw this? Because I've sort of got my thoughts on it, but what were your sort of first impressions when seeing this?
I'm not that surprised. I think people, if they really wanted a Nintendo console, and with the recent price increases, firstly, they were always going to buy the Nintendo stuff first and foremost. And then maybe with the budget strings being pulled a little, it just meant that, that second game that you got to launch maybe just didn't happen, or the third game. So, we're pretty spoiled for choice in a way. There's a lot of different things available, not necessarily all new, a lot of like older games coming to Switch, or Switch 2, sorry, for the first time. So you could argue that, maybe there's a lot of crossover with Switch 2 or Switch gamers owning either a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X that, they've already played these games and don't need to get the upgrade or play it portably and get it in that way. So I think that's a factor. And then also, I think you touched on it as well, there's a lot of launch titles for this launch compared to Switch 1. So anyone who had a Switch launch title did really well, really. Those launch games sold pretty well, I understand. 1-2 Switch was pretty amazing, and that was not a great game. But there's so little to get straight away that those who did buy something were keen to get something on top of Breath of the Wild as well. So I think the combination of those factors probably has contributed to it. So, but they're out there now, and if you look at maybe, I'm definitely playing less Mario Kart World than I was 2 weeks ago when the game first came out, and I'm looking at those other things. And so I've started to play like Yakuza and some other third-party stuff a bit more. So maybe they see it a little bit more now. In the next week or two, it starts to bubble along a bit more, and might be more of a slow burn kind of thing for them. But we'll see.
Yeah, that's the thing with me. Like, on launch day, you go and check out the eShop. I think it's maybe a bit more obvious from maybe us who just went and bought a Switch 2 and deciding what games to play. But to start off with, we've only got so much time. So Mario Kart World, we've got a lot to do, a lot to unlock, a lot to dive into, a lot of time spent playing multiplayer. So like the first week, we had more than enough to do just in Mario Kart. So like for me, I wanted to go and get Street Fighter 6, for example. I still haven't done it just because I've had enough content just in the first party offering, the one that I was most excited to dive into, and probably a lot of people actually want to pick up a Switch 2 for. So I think that's one of the biggest things. But also like looking at the games that were released, there were quality ones. Like Sega had quality ones, like Yakuza had Sonic Generations, even Pera Tetris 2, like good offerings, but like you've had the opportunity to play them for a long time on other platforms and for a fair bit cheaper. Like, Sonic's gone through the Black Friday sales and all of that, the Christmas sales that happened late last year. Yakuza, for example, I've actually already got that game on Steam. I picked it up for $13. So that game is a lot cheaper elsewhere, even though it's not the director's cut. But for it's been on sale that much everywhere else. And it was like just under $90 here in Australia on the eShop. So just looking at it as like a price proposition and the likelihood that you've played those games, it just makes it a bit of a hard sell because there were some games that I wanted to play, like Hitman and Hogwarts and things like that. But it's just like it's max price, where it's like, well, there's sort of no reason to rush into it. These games have already been out so long that, why kind of bother? It's okay. I don't have to. I'll just put them on the wish list and wait for a sale because I don't have the
They'll
time.
happen later.
Yeah, I don't have the time anyway, and they're way more expensive than every other platform. Even stuff like a Rune Factory, I would have liked to play Rune Factory too, but it's $110. So I was like, these are very expensive games now. This isn't just like filling up your basket with Easter eggs. You've really got to sort of think. And you've already spent, well, pretty much $800 on your Switch 2 and Mario Kart. You pick up a Pro Controller and a camera. You get Nintendo Switch Online to play the GameCube games. You're pushing a lot of money already. So, and I would say those accessories and those Mario Kart and all of that is more important for the Switch 2 experience than picking up Bravely Default or whatever. As much as
for sure.
As much as I'm glad they're there, and Bravely Default is maybe a bad example because I actually feel like that's pretty fairly priced. That's $60 here in Australia compared to
it's a great price.
Yeah,
it's not in the charts at all. Like I'm looking at the eShop charts right now, and that title is not anywhere to be seen. Like I really feel it's dropped off the face of the earth. But so the charts for the last 3 days is what the charts do now. It used to be last 2 weeks, so it's last 3 days. Cyberpunk is number 1, and Fantasy Life I is number 2, and Mario Kart World's number 3. So we're already seeing a bit of a drop in Mario Kart World. So that's no longer the number 1 selling game in the past 3 days here in Australia, at least in New Zealand. So I think that third-party pickup's slowly happening now. Yeah, now that people have had, they played a bit of Mario Kart World, now it's slow. Like, what else is there?
Yeah, because like for Mario Kart World to be able to keep up at that sales pace, it also needs to be selling Switch 2s at the same time, pretty much. And then basically, once Mario Kart World is sold and you're getting sick of it, getting to the point where we might be at now, people be logging onto the eShop, looking at it, but all right, now it's time to pick something up and dive into like a different experience. But yeah, interesting games at the top because I feel like Cyberpunk, I feel like that's a no-brainer for being the best-selling third-party game because it is like it is the most impressive game. It is the game that is basically like a hardware tester at this point. Like on PC, you usually use it to test out your graphics card, and when a brand new update comes out when it came out on PS5 and Xbox Series, that was pretty impressive as well. So a lot of sort of comparisons for Switch 2 are put between the Steam Deck and other, I guess, gaming handhelds to see how it fares, and people are interested in that as far as just and the Nintendo audience as well. Like they haven't had access to that, but maybe on some other games like Bravely Default, people on the Nintendo side would have played that on 3DS. Sonic Generations, that was on Nintendo Switch 1. Para Tetris 2, that's been out for a long time on Switch. And they didn't have any upgrades as well, which would have hurt potentially as well, just from people being frustrated. Yes. So there's a few reasons. Do you think the game card situation, as far as like the physical releases, do you think that would have had much to do with anything? Do you think people would have been like, no, I'm not getting that? Or do you feel like it doesn't make much difference because the average consumer doesn't really care?
Sorry, what do you mean in terms of game key cards? Is that what you mean? Or
yeah, so like game key cards, do you feel like people wouldn't be buying them quite as much as like a full on the cart like game compared to like Cyberpunk, for example? That's on the cart. That's not a game key card physically, but Sonic Generations, the Sega games, Capcom, they're all doing the game key card thing. Do you think that would have much of a
maybe a little? I think maybe people have run out of memory on their Switch too. Like I've run out transferring all my games over, and I had to buy a micro SD express card this week, and thankfully they arrived the other day. So it might be a consideration because they got to download a bit more. Because there's 43 gigabytes, so it's a huge. That'd be nice if it was on the cart and not have to download as much physically. Or digitally, sorry. So definitely for sure that might be a factor.
Yeah, like sort of the Nintendo space that I follow, a lot of people are very upset by it, the physical collectors and all this. But if you're a mum just trying to get your kid Sonic, like you're not going to care. But yeah, I just wonder how much of a pushback there will be, because I've bowed out of the battle. I'm like, all right, I'm not doing the game keycard thing. I can't deal with that, and I don't want my first party Nintendo games separate from the rest of my library, like doing the physical for them and digital for everything else. I'm like, well, I'm bowing out of this battle. I'm not doing the physical games on Switch too. But I wish you all luck against the war against key cards.
Okay.
I wish you luck.
No, thank you. We'll put it the fight.
Please.
The inevitable fight, but that's all right.
I'll be like the wife staying home looking after the kids while men like you are out at war.
Well, I'm going to be a pretty shitty soldier, but that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to be a very good wife.
I'll buy whatever I need. Yeah. If it's better on digital, I might just do that, and vice versa.
Yeah. Just wherever you get it cheaper, which would be physical.
Correct.
Probably.
It probably still will be the case, yes, except for this Mario Kart World bundle.
Maybe they'll do bundles for other games and maybe just buy a Switch 2 every time you buy a game. So you get the game a little bit cheaper.
Well, yeah, it sells itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, easy. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought it was just interesting. Just I feel like a lot of... I was listening to, one of my favorite podcasts. It's a PlayStation podcast. And, like, they brought up, like, the fact that, Switch 2 games aren't selling... Well, third-party games aren't selling well on Switch 2. Just like, oh, it's a people just want to play Nintendo games. And I feel like that's not going to be the case. And they sort of dismissed it just like, as like just a kiddie toy type of thing. I'm like, well, no, it's not. But time will tell, I dare say. Like for me, I'm very excited to buy third-party games on this thing. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and we'll see where it goes from here. It's just third parties also need to kind of step up to the table. Like for years, they've complained, like EA is like, no one buys their games. Like, well, you make them not good on the Nintendo platform. And whether that's Nintendo's fault through their own hardware or from no optimization or whatever have you, it doesn't really matter. It's just at the end of the day, you need to put the effort in. Like with FIFA and Borderlands and was Star Wars Outlaws and these games are coming. They just got to make sure that they're a good version to buy, and we will come. I will come.
It'll happen, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, what's like Split Fiction? That's been pretty well received.
Yeah,
pretty well optimized. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Don't know what it's selling. Got no idea, but
no idea. Not from the but from what we played, it looked pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a game I still got to play actually because it uses Game Share as like the main way to actually play it, and it's like a third party game. So that's kind of interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to giving that a go. It doesn't look probably near as nice and shiny as the PS5 version.
For sure.
But we know what we're getting into.
To be expected.
Got to play Split Fiction on the bus. Yeah, I say that because it's one of those games where I just want to play it on the TV. So it kind of makes it doesn't make as much sense for Switch for me because like you can't just pick it up and take it with you. Like I've got to be home with the internet. Got to have like a situation where I've got like no kids around me, so I'm talking to you and like talking about how we beat the puzzles together and get our timing right and all of that. It's not really the game I need on Switch, but maybe for somebody who's got like a multiple Switch household and you game share to somebody locally and you're just sitting on the couch, just like you and your wife or something, that's probably a pretty good situation to do it. But
yeah, definitely might be the way to go.
Yeah. All right, Josh, let's jump into what we've been playing the last, I guess, couple of weeks. I've put in some things that I talked about on our Lost episode last week, so I won't talk about them too much, but obviously we've been playing a lot of Mario Kart World still. I'm trying to get through the 3 stars in mirror mode now, and I've been doing some decent progress in Knockout Tour, which like it's just one of those things where you just sort of need to grind it out a little bit. Like after a couple of goes, you either get lucky or you just understand the route a little bit more. And get lucky, I can get it within like maximum, maybe 5. I'm going to jinx it now, but yeah, it doesn't take me to like as many times. Because when I first got the 3 stars on a Knockout Tour, I was like, holy crap, how will I ever do that again? Like winning every single checkpoint just sounds crazy. And honestly, it kind of is. to win every single one.
It is a bit. Yeah, especially that first one. Like it's probably better when you don't win the first one because you know, okay, I got to restart it from the start. But yeah, sometimes it's really hard to get to the front.
Mm. Yeah, it is.
Just like no matter what you can do, it's just like it doesn't happen.
Mm. Yeah, so I'm just going through and trying to 100% that, just getting the 3 stars in mirror mode now, which I don't know, it's very satisfying just to pick up the Switch 2, dive into Mario Kart. I've I've been waiting for something like Mario Kart for a while, just a comfort food, a bit of a brainless game, just to pick up and play and try and 100%. Maybe not the open world. The open world is an everlasting gobstopper that I'll be playing over the next 8 years of Switch 2, where I'm just like, look, I don't need all the P switches in the first month or the first year, but I will get all the P switches one day, potentially. Maybe there'll be an update where I can track them on the map. That'll be nice. I know that there's that app that somebody's developed where you can sort of mark down P switches and things like that.
Yes, I'll have to use that eventually. No Android version though, annoyingly.
Oh, that is annoying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like looking at it too, you've also got to like manually mark them. So like I've already done 100 and so I'll be looking at the map and there's one. Oh no, I've done that one. Oh no, I've done that one. So you kind of need to use it from the very start, and even that's like a little bit annoying because when you're playing Mario Kart, you kind of just want to wander. You don't really want to be having to revert to a map and be marking stuff off.
And yeah, I'm still doing that. I'm still naturally wandering and not resorting to a little tool like this.
Yeah, I am too. I kind of want to keep it like that, but it will get down to like the last 50 where it's like, I don't know where they are, let alone the last 10 or the last 5. You're going to be like, you'll have no clue. Absolutely no idea.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you use it.
Yeah, I really wish that stuff was just marked on the map. And I've got my fingers crossed that there's going to be an update for that. Just like, hey, look.
I really hope they update it. I really hope they do.
Because, yeah, that'll help me enjoy that game just a lot more. I kind of just want like hey, look, here's a checklist. Go and do them. Like, I kind of want that for Mario Kart because it's very basic anyway, so I may as well just... It doesn't really add much more making him like a secret, like what I've already done. It doesn't really help help the experience. It's not Zelda being like, hey, look, you'll just discover Korok seeds. But even then, like, you mark them down once you've got them and stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just a weird decision, but hopefully it turns out for the best with an update. But
yes, that would be nice.
Yeah. Last week I did try The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom for the first time on Switch 2, and I got sucked into it. I absolutely loved it. I ended up playing for like maybe 2 or 3 hours, just wandering around doing side quests. I used Zelda notes, which was very fun as well, trying to track down shrines. And I've got a fair few in the sky. I haven't gone up there, but I sort of just cleaned them up on the land, which was pretty cool. And yeah, I don't know. This is kind of the experience I want from Mario Kart, to be honest with you. Like, you know, I've beat Tears of the Kingdom. I know the story, all of that type of stuff. So there's no worry about spoiling it for me. I kind of just want to find the shrines. And when I turn on the option to do the Korok seeds, because on the map, you can swap it between like what you see. So you can see the shrines you haven't discovered, the Korok seeds, the Zelda notes that are laid around the place. There's a lot of that type of stuff. So I've just set it to shrines, but I could imagine when you set it the Korok seeds, just how many there will be, and tracking them down with a podcast going at the same time, I can imagine would be quite fun. I'm looking forward to doing that when I also want a bit more of a brainless exploration play session, which I think will be coming up soon because I'm kind of enjoying my brainless arc right now. I'm feeling just tired. Just tired. So I'm
gonna play, but you don't want to think.
Yeah, so I'm liking it. The only thing I don't like about it, and this is what I was worried about in like the promotional materials, that like when you do find a Zelda note, the new sort of feature in this where like Zelda has laid down notes and she gives you information about the world and the areas that you visit, it does play through your mobile phone. It doesn't come through like the game audio. So like if you're playing on like your big TV with the game audio coming through your soundbar, then your phone, it's just like when it comes through your phone, it's distracting. It doesn't sound anywhere near as good. It's separated. I'm not a fan of it. Like I understand that like the map and that being on the phone or the iPad is great, but the audio being separate, I really wish it was in the game. So it's a bit frustrating on that respect. But I told you last week, Josh, that I've got like the headphones that have the audio from the game and the phone, so I can put them together anyway. But not everybody has that sort of setup, and people want to utilize their soundbar and all of that when gaming. So yeah, just kind of a bummer on that respect, as well as just the fact that when this app eventually shuts down or ends support, maybe in 10 years time or however long, like all this functionality is just going to go away. All of like,
Gets removed. Yep.
the new achievements, the Zelda notes, the sharing of the blueprints, it's all gone, Like game preservation, this is not a good thing to have it separated. It might be useful now, just but all right, I'll just have it separate and I can just have a look at the map just on my lap. But yeah, down the point or down the road, I guess it will be a frustrating thing. So yeah,
it's definitely frustrating, and I have got something about Michaela wanting to use the Zelda Notes app when she was playing Tears of the Kingdom this week, and she, got most of the way through the game, finished the story, but wants to do the other things like the Karoks and some other things that the Zelda Notes will help with, and add to it. So she wanted to get back into the game, but then thought maybe I want to start from scratch. I want to do it all over again and use the Zelda Notes app full throughout. So she went about deleting her save data, and then she did it from both her console and the cloud save. So removed her save profile completely for Tears of the Kingdom.
Oof.
And then she went to use the Zelda Notes app, and it wouldn't refresh with the new save data. It's still linked and locked to the old save, and the only way. So one, you can't. You can restart the game now, but you can't use the Zelda Notes app. And also the only way to do it now would be to create a new profile, and so she'd literally have to swap profiles between a Switch 2 and also swap profiles within the app to access the Zelda Notes. So she's really in between a rock and a hard place now because she wants to play it, but doesn't want to play it now without the Zelda Notes functionality. So, will that ever get fixed? Who's to say? Like, she's complained to them, hoping that if enough people do it, that something might happen, but I wouldn't put any bets on it. So, a bit of a shame because she was really excited to. Now she's kind of bummed out and I think unmotivated to do it now.
Yeah, for sure. That seems like a bit of an oversight. Just like, all right, you've linked it and that's it. I missed. I missed the reason she deleted it though. Why did she delete her save file?
She just wanted to restart the game with Zelda Notes from the start.
Oh, well,
because you go into a game halfway through. Sometimes you're like, and like you want to resume it again. Like, I think I'll just restart it. So she wanted to do it all again and enjoy it all from the start. Take it all in with the Zelda Notes, with the extra functionality of Ultra Hand and the auto build, all of it. But it wouldn't let her do it.
Yeah.
So
real
shame.
The only reason I ask is just like because the Switch 2 edition of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, one of the new features was they actually allowed you to have 2 save files on the one game. So she could have just had a second save file anyway and kept her original save file.
I'll tell her that.
Well, maybe not at this point.
A bit late now.
It's a little bit late. But yeah, because that was one of the main things, being like, hey, look, you now have 2 save files. You can keep your old one and you can do hero mode or whatever on the second one. Because that was a really annoying thing because we've always had access to like 3 save files on Zelda games, and with Breath of the Wild, it was like, all right, no, we're not doing that. And that was actually a big reason I didn't want to go back and do like the hero mode or the hard mode or anything, just because like I don't want to delete my save file. I'm not doing a whole other profile. Like I'm not doing that. So don't let her know that. Maybe maybe say
I might get that one to myself. Yeah.
Maybe just say, hey, look, Breath of the Wild has 2 save files, but don't say anything about Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay. Yep. That's good to know. Thanks.
I don't want a domestic in the household. So.
No. All good.
And I guess we can talk about Welcome to All Together, Josh. But have you been playing much the last week?
Outside Welcome to it. So I haven't played a lot of Yakuza 0 this week. Want to keep going with that though. Really enjoyed it. Had obviously talked about Mario Kart World the other night and played a bit of Jamboree 2. Keen for the DLC next month, but Outside of that, not a lot. So maybe a little bit of Balatro. Been playing the challenges within that game. So they've been the things I've been doing later at night. That game just continues to suck me in, and I'm full on addicted to it. It's such a great game. I want to like collect and do as much as possible. Caught with a friend the other day who I didn't think was really into games, but he has played a lot of Balatro. So we're just talking, comparing notes and what they like to do and how they go about it. So about 90 hours, I think, for that game, and I'm just going to keep ticking them over now, I reckon.
I love that. Yeah, I love how you're taking notes. So you're like, yes, good strategy. I'll implement that in one of my runs for sure.
Well, like it's like he's got a way higher individual round score than me, but I've like progressed further in one run than he has. So it's just interesting how it like changes like that. So we're just telling each other different things we do. So I think we learned from each other, which was interesting. And it's the type of game where like there's so much like strategy or different things you could try out and do, and like the results can be very different yielding. So incredibly addictive, incredibly fun, and like keep getting to play on my Switch too, and it's happy days.
Yeah. I'm just curious, just from maybe the backwards compatibility standpoint, like. Can you tell that it's like lower resolution compared to maybe Mario Kart or like the Switch 2 games you're playing? Because that's one of my things. Like I don't mind like much of like playing the backwards compatible stuff, but I'm like, I don't want to play at 720. I want to play at 1080 now.
I haven't been noticing as much. No, if I'm being honest.
Yep, that's good. And I might not either.
Yep.
Like going into Smash Brothers, I'm like, oh, this looks great. But then, like, you look a bit closer, you're like, oh yeah, I can see the pixels. Mario Kart World, I can't see them as much. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. I guess let's talk a little bit about Welcome Tour. We talked about Welcome Tour last week, but just for the sake of having it, I guess actually on the record, Welcome Tour for me is one of those things where should it have been included in in the Switch 2 package? Absolutely. And I would say for the most part, it's probably not worth it for you. It's very tedious. You're doing a lot of quizzes. You're learning a lot of like weird minutiae about the Switch 2. But me as a techie, me as somebody who's a big Nintendo fan, and I kind of like all this little bit of information, I quite like Welcome Tour. I like it just in the fact that you are learning about this new piece of hardware that I've been very excited for a long time. And like everything from like, this is how the HD rumble works. So this is the technology in the screen, even to like, I was on the, what's it called? The wrist strap. And it was telling me like, oh, this is how we did the stitching in the wrist strap. So then it doesn't come undone and can't be torn open. This is the type of stitching that we used. I'm like, that's actually kind of interesting. I was expecting just like completely nothing.
Show Michaela that one.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, Michaela would have
appreciated Michaela that one, and she liked it as well. Like, oh yeah, that's very interesting. She was like, oh, it's not actually that simple. She's saying, sorry, it's not actually that difficult. And like, okay, there you go. So, but just random stuff like that, isn't it? Yeah, it's like, that's easy.
Yeah, I was like, well, Nintendo said it was impressive, so I'm like, wow. But it is a game, but yeah, it is just it's just frustrating that it wasn't included, because I think maybe some more people could have got a kick out of it, because it does show off the HD rumble, it does show off the mouse controls, it does show off a lot of the stuff that just playing Mario Kart and Donkey Kong later next month, and just more traditional first party releases we probably won't see until we get a WarioWare or maybe some specific mini games in Mario Party Jamboree. And after playing a lot of Mario Kart, I was kind of yearning for that experience. But I wanted
earning for,
yeah, earning. I just kind of wanted that, and I'm glad that the decision was taken away from me, because I was lucky enough to receive a review code from Nintendo Australia. So I really do appreciate that. Just shout out to Nintendo Australia for providing that for both me and Josh. But honestly, I got that code a week after launch, and I was at the point that Friday being like, hey, if I don't get a code, I'll pick it up. $15, it's not the biggest deal. I think I will get a kick out of it, and honestly, after playing it, I probably would have. I wouldn't have felt too ripped off, but it would have been the appropriate amount, I think. $20 would have been, pretty like pushing it. And of course, anything above that would have been just horrendous. But $15, if you're a big Nintendo fan who kind of appreciates the different ways of play and technology, I think you'll get a kick out of it. I think it's just the point that there are so many quizzes. Like it's not just all playing mini games, which it would have been a lot more fun. It is very much just like, hey, look, do you want to do a quiz? Here's 4 bulletin boards. Read through these. Come back. Do a quiz. It's like, well, where's the HD Rumble located? Is it in the back? Is it in the middle? Is it on the front? It's like, well, I read that it was on the back. And, you're just very much doing stuff like that just to reinforce the knowledge. It is very much just like you could imagine earlier this year, Nintendo Australia, Nintendo UK, all of these PR portions of Nintendo, they get sent this game just to educate them about the product so they can concentrate on their marketing campaigns and things like that. It feels very much like that, where it is like the average person's like, I don't need to know this about my little games console I just bought. But maybe for psychos like us, Josh, who really love this stuff, we might find some appreciation in there, but it's definitely not for your average Joe. It's not a Wii Sports. It's not a Nintendo Land. It is very much just like the most weird kind of sterile tech demo you can kind of have. But even then, it's got like a little bit of Nintendo charm there too. Not as much as I would like compared to like their other offerings with consoles, but yeah, there's a little bit there.
Yeah, it should have been a packing game. That would have been a great way to sort of showcase a bit more of the Switch 2 and explain why things have been upgraded. And no, it is a bit more of a upgrade than you're probably thinking. So, and it would have helped answer a bit of the discourse and going on online. Like I've seen like viral like topics or tweets about why doesn't the connector in the middle of the console snap off every time you detach the magnetic Joy-Cons, and like Welcome Tour here answers those questions and more. And it's really sort of factually, interesting. Most of it, some of it's not really interesting, but there's lots of facts. But if you love Nintendo, obviously, if you love technology, just sort of understanding design thinking and the thought process between in terms of how they came to the decisions they made, then Welcome Tour is definitely something you should consider picking up for $15. Anything more than that, like I agree with you, Drew. Like they pretty much, probably maxed out what they can get out of this, and they knew it. I wish they incorporated this sort of stuff with the Nintendo museum when I was there in Japan, because there wasn't a lot of factual information, a lot of like visual, just looking at stuff and taking it all in without understanding the why. So this was a great way to show that why in terms of the Switch 2. Just wish more people could get the chance to play it. So it's a bit of a shame that it's going to be behind this paywall, which is enough, I think, to deter people from really playing it, because there is some fun to be had. Definitely with the stamps, you want to run around and collect all the stamps, which usually correspond with a different button or feature of the Switch 2. You do learn a lot, and I've come away from it thinking, okay, there's more to my Switch 2 than even I thought. And most of the mini games are pretty interesting. There's some things that I didn't think needed to be in there. There's something like scooping up some water at one stage. I didn't really feel like there was any point in that tech demo or whatnot. So, there's definitely some longevity to it. I think this takes probably 30 hours or so to complete by the time you do everything, and probably try and get the high scores and
Jesus, that long, you
test
reckon?
it all out.
God.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, I'm just guessing, just in terms of people wanting to 100% it. I'll have to double check.
I hope it doesn't take that long. Because, I'm really enjoying just the check mark nature of it. Like, doing all the quizzes, getting all the medals in the mini games, doing all the little weird things in the demos, finding all the stamps. I kind of like it. Just turn it on and do that. Just when like I said, I want some brainless gaming. So Nintendo's doing great at that at the moment. Just let me switch my brain off and let me click on things. But I hope it doesn't take...
Maybe 15 hours from running and reading.
That sounds a little bit... 30 hours.
Someone on Reddit here, over 20 hours. Yeah. So, maybe not quite 30.
Yeah, we don't need that long. We don't need that long of Welcome Tour.
Yeah.
But I think if you're somebody who's listening to this podcast, like you're seeking out Nintendo content and all that, you probably we'll get a kick
You're
out
in
of
the
it.
target market.
It's just one of those things where it's just like, I just wish they included it because it's like it just feels like such nickel and diming when it comes down to it. Especially maybe at this point, just let, especially like I'm just thinking about people like us. We have our Switch 2s. Just have it loaded up so we can go, oh look, like to your friends, like, oh look how these Joy-Cons feel. That feels pretty cool. So it does, yeah. Then use all these different features and all that. It's kind of just like a marketing thing, but you've got to pay for it. It's like a brochure you got to pay for, but I like reading through Nintendo brochures, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, they've found a way to gamify it a bit more, understanding and learning about the console. But yeah, a lot of reading, so you just make sure you're ready for that. And comprehension, it's not hard, just got to read it and retain it. And then when they ask you the question, you have it there. But yeah, just a lot to be there if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah. I dare say there's going to be some people out there, but like, you bastards, you enjoyed Welcome Tour. How dare you? And to that I say, I'm sorry. I'm
sorry.
I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
I enjoyed the mouse mini game where I was just a little UFO. I did not enjoy the game where you've got to like work out the letter with the HD rumble. Really annoying. Really annoying. I think that's the last one I played.
I haven't done that one yet. No.
Yeah, that was really frustrating because it's like the
Okay.
shapes were easy because like, oh, yes, it's a square. Yes, it's a triangle because it doesn't have the corners. Like you can sort of feel around with the HD rumble. But when it's like letters, I'm like, yes, that's an A. Like it's like between 3 letters. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty simple. That's a C. I can feel that's a C. But then it was like between 6 letters. I'm like, oh, I got no idea what this is. And you've got to do it real quick as well.
Yeah,
to,
okay.
To get the
It's a
medal.
tough game. It's hard.
It's a tough game. Yeah, this is a Dark Souls.
Like overall, like to get the gold, all the gold medals, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, because I was just working my way through it, just 100%ing it, or trying to 100% it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll continue doing that. And when Donkey Kong comes out, I'll ignore it. I'll just keep playing Welcome Tour. Just really punish myself.
Why not?
All right, Josh, let's pick our Nintendo Switch Online game that we'll dabble in throughout the month. I guess we'll just make this the July game because it's at the end of June. I think that'll be probably the way.
Are we picking a console first or just a random NSO from the entire library?
I was just going to say to ChatGPT, just choose me a game from Nintendo Switch Online. But we can do whatever you like. Do you want to target a specific console, or how would you like to go about it? I was just going to go random from the whole catalog, but yeah, I'd like to.
Okay, yeah. As long as it's including the expansion pack titles as a possibility as well. We don't want to miss out on those.
I did a test with ChatGPT. I asked it, and it said Super Metroid originally. I'm like, interesting.
That's basic tier. So, but will it do expansion pack as well? You know, like 64 games, GameCube games, Game Boy Advance games.
Well, I will ask. I'll ask. All right, so I've got this synced up to the Roadcaster,
Oh.
so it should come through. All right.
Bear with us, everyone.
Hello, ChatGPT. I'm looking at a game to play on Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack. Can you please pick me a random game to play?
Hey Drew, how about trying out Star Fox 64? It's a classic and a lot of fun. Plus, it's a great pick for some nostalgic gaming. Give it a go and let me know how you like it.
Well, thank you very much. I'll be sure to enjoy that with the House of Mario community.
That sounds awesome. I'm sure the House of Mario community will love hearing about your adventures in Star Fox 64. Have a blast, and let me know if you need any more game suggestions.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much, ChatGPT.
Perfect.
The first...
What a game to start.
Yeah, absolutely. The first game from Nintendo Switch Online library in the House of Mario is going to be Star Fox 64 or Lilac Wars, as we know it over here.
That's correct.
Yeah. No,
cool. Yeah, nice.
Hey, that's actually not a bad one to jump into because it's
a great one. You can smash it out in an hour, the entire thing, if you want.
Beautiful. That's what I'm after.
Yep.
That's what I'm after.
Yeah.
As a dad,
Yep.
just give me a game. I just want to sit in front of it and it just play itself. You know. I just put.
So how's this going to work? We're just going to play it and talk about it over the next month?
Yeah, I think so. Well, we can discuss it here, I guess, and if it is a July game, we can work it out a bit more with the Discord community as well, see how they want to target it. But I think for me, like, no, like, don't have to make a big segment out of it where we put all of our thoughts there, but it's just in the now playing section throughout the month, as we're playing it. But I guess Star Fox 64, it is a little bit different because it might not be a month-long game. So we can just choose a particular episode, maybe at the end of July or maybe even at the start of July, I guess, if we've got a couple of weeks. We can do it then. Talk about going back to it. And I've got the Nintendo 64, Nintendo Switch Online controller I've been looking forward to playing with again. So yeah, it'll be good fun. We've got rewind and CRT filters and all of that.
Yes,
Switch 2
that's
now.
true.
So
we're all sorted, I reckon.
We're all sorted. All right. Add that to the list, everybody. Star Fox 64, if you'd like to play along with us, you can join the Discord community, link in the show notes, or you can just hear us talk about a classic. It's up to you.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Do a barrel roll.
Do it.
Do it.
Do a backflip. You cheeky salamander. You cheeky frog. You slippy. You slippy boy. All right. Let's. This has been the part of the show I've been looking forward to getting into, Josh. This is what we're calling the house brawl. And we're starting off with Mario Kart World Battle Mode.
Oh, yeah.
Josh, turn on your goddamn controller. Oh, your camera, sorry. Because we're diving into this. And, don't know. We got big stakes here, mate. We got big stakes. Are you feeling nervous? What's going on? Have I lost Josh? Oh no, he's reaching. Oh, he's doing his camera. I can see. That's fair enough.
Sorry, bear with me, everyone. Just trying to dock my Switch 2.
That's all right. The old camera is playing up on him. But I've got to get in and I've got to set the rules anyway. So we're doing. Did I go on? What did I do here? Did I make my own room? I was looking over at Josh and I wasn't actually paying attention to what I was doing. So we go online play, just me, camera on. Then we go, focused, no surroundings. I don't want people seeing what's going on around me. I don't know if I'm doing this right, Josh. I haven't been online in Mario Kart for a little bit just because I've been playing. I don't think I am, actually. I think I'm doing it wrong. I need to go into the lobby.
Bear with us, everyone.
How's your camera going, Josh?
Well, I had the stand out when I was trying to dock it, and why isn't it working? And obviously the stand was still out, and that's why it wasn't working. So, and then I'm docking now, and it doesn't quite want to work. So the joys of going live, everyone.
Yeah, it was always going to happen, Josh. How do you start a lobby? I'm just going to online play. I go to one player. I go camera on. I just want the camera on. Because we would have had this set up before, but it doesn't let you. Oh, you go to friends. That's right. Then I go create room so you can join my room. Then I can pick Yoshi because Yoshi's a good boy. Yoshi's a good boy. I always go the B Dasher because I'm very nostalgic for Mario Kart DS, which is pretty cool. All right, so...
B-Dash is pretty good.
Yes.
Nice.
Smart steering. So do I have to wait for you to join to be able to choose the mode and stuff?
Let me do that now. Everything's working. Camera's on.
Beautiful.
Have you sent me an invite, or is it if I go down to friends?
Just go to your friends and see the room I'm in. Because we thought we could be nice and seamless, but I guess not, Josh.
Not really, no. Not quite meant to be.
It's not meant to be. But don't know. So you're playing Wario. You're like, are you trying to get Wario costumes or what's going on here?
Yes. Yeah. So I've been trying to cycle through all the characters and just get all the different outfits. So that's largely been good.
Yeah.
slowly been able to chip away. Some friends of ours who did come over for Saturday night, one of them had unlocked all the costumes, and they've just been focusing on getting all the costumes. They hadn't done all the P switches or any of the P switches really, but they're hot on the costumes.
Mm. So it seems like I can only do 3 rounds. I thought I could just do one battle. I guess we can just do one battle.
Just do one.
Yeah, we'll just do one. So it doesn't matter about the rounds. So this is it, mate. This is serious. Have you ever been more nervous in your life?
No, I'm pretty confident I know how this is going to go. Drew's amazing at this, from what I've
Hyping me up. I'm going to
play with him on battle mode. But also, I'm just trying to make myself the huge underdog here and see what happens.
I just realized I'm playing on.
What have you done?
Through the, what's it called? The capture, and not the actual screen.
Okay.
So I better swap over so I can actually see.
So is this timed? What are the rules here?
I assume it's timed. Yeah, it's 3 minutes. We can't do anything about that. Remember how I whinge about that all the time? All right, here we go. So yes, I've got red balloons. Josh has blue balloons. I'm playing as Yoshi, and Josh is Wario. And see, it's funny because I can look down at your little game share screen, and I can see that you do have a banana, Josh. What's your kind of strategy you're going to implement here with the bananas that you got going? Because I tell you what, you can see what I got here, mate.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid you first and foremost.
Yeah, I've got a red shell ready to get you. So
You don't.
Oh, so you
got near me.
You got some good stuff there now, mate.
No, don't. You don't know anything about what I'm trying to do right now, Drew.
Yeah, I can't read your strategy, mate. You've got something special going on. We're not going to be able to get to each other, are we? We're on the donut,
I don't know about that.
On the big donut level from, I guess, Mario Kart 64, and it's just it's not going on. I'm too nervous to go over there. I can see what you got there, mate. But I can see, like, you got the horn, not much range. I got a boomerang. So, oh, you broke my boomerang. Yeah. I thought
it's tense here. It's tense here.
It is a bit. I've got hammers and green shells. You got a feather. Oh, you got. Oh dear. Oh dear. I can see that you have the red shells. That's a bit dangerous, mate.
Yep. Do you like what I'm doing? I'm trying to avoid you at all and minimal contact.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't appreciate it really. Oh. So
Alrighty. 1 minute left.
That's why I hate
still 5-0.
That's why I hate the timers, you know.
Do you? You hate the timers?
Yeah, because you're just using it to stall me out. You're gonna stall me out, then you're gonna give me a big smack with those shells. All right, I got a ghost, so I've utilized that to get away from you.
Nothing's happening here, guys. Come on. Nothing. It's just a great start, isn't it? 15 seconds in here.
Most anticlimactic.
10 seconds. Can we do anything? Oh, did I hit you?
No,
nothing happened.
I thought I got you.
I hit one of your bananas.
Yeah. Well, that was something we might have to do another round.
Very defensive there.
Oh dear.
We're being a bit conservative, I reckon.
We're very conservative. All right, let's
very conservative.
to a level where we don't get so we can't avoid each other so well.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yes, we are playing with no CPUs.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, if we played with CPUs, I would have been like, oh my God, like, oh, that's not fair.
Yeah, we also might not have seen each other. So I'm going to go maybe Salty Speedway. It's Probably a good one just for two of us.
Done Super Mario Bros. Circuit,
Man.
and that's the one we're playing. All right, we'll get a result here.
Hope so.
I would have thought.
Otherwise, it would be like
Go
three
we did 3 rounds.
3 rounds and no balloons popped. I got pretty excited when I saw one of my bananas go off, and I thought that was
I thought I had you at the end. I thought I
knocked
did
you.
just enough to, yeah.
Oh, mucked up my little boost. Do, 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 do. Where are you? I'm looking at the mini map trying to figure out where you are. You're in the middle.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You're looking there to snipe me. That's what you're doing.
No.
You got your green shells. I got my bananas. I'm happy with them. They will protect me. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. There he is. Oh, yes.
Oh, I got so close again, you.
They did protect me.
Oh. Damn it.
God damn it. All right. I can't even use my mushroom.
Oh, you got me. Well done.
Yes. Got you with the
Finally got on board.
bomb. Just dropped him off and he got you, mate.
Yeah, I knew what you were trying to do.
Yeah. But you had the exact same thing. I threw a boomerang backwards and you threw it. Yours as well.
Well, I hit it with my boomerang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cancelled each other out.
Man. So I just need to stall you out now, I guess, don't I? Oh. Oh dear. Get me off this ride. I don't want to be on it.
Yeah, yeah. You just got to run away from me now, which is unfortunate. Be nothing.
That's what I mean with like timed battle mode though. Like, how much more fun would this be? Like, maybe not for the podcast because we're already sort of
Not for the podcast, but yeah, definitely for us playing by ourselves. Definitely.
Yeah, because we were like just battle to the death. But now it's just like, well, I got one hit, and I don't want to see you ever again. Ooh.
Can't quite do it here.
All right, what? Ooh.
I got you once, but yeah, you've already got me twice now. So.
Did you get me? I don't know if you did.
No, you didn't. I didn't. Well, it's going the way I thought it would. So. Just going to sound it off. I did that. Yep. Just not happening.
You're like that. All right. There we have it. How many points?
Logged me.
How many points did I end up getting? 3. Cool.
You got me 3. I got you none.
Good for me, I guess. Congratulations to me.
Yep. Went the way we all thought it would.
Like
very good.
Going forward, I need like sound effects and that set up on my soundboard, but I just haven't had the time to do it yet. And I didn't have the game audio coming through like the actual recording. I want to do that in the future too. But yeah, that was fun. I quite enjoyed
Yeah, it was good. Good
breaking
challenge.
it up. And I will say, like for audio listeners, I do understand that us being quiet and trying to get it set up and concentrating on the game and all of that might not have been the best audio experience. But I think for us, or for me thinking about this, is just like we will get better at it. Like this is, we just need practice. Like I need practice doing the OBS and talking and all of that while doing the gameplay. I think, it's just we'll get better at it over time. So don't stress.
For sure.
We're still focusing on the audio side of things. That's where majority of people are when it comes to people listening to the show. So, of course, really appreciate it. But Josh, I'm the winner. So next week you will have a punishment. And
No.
do you want to make it for this month, since we're doing like a month to month sort of I guess, tournament. Do you want to do it so like this month into July is just Mario Kart, or would you like the winner to pick the next game for this month?
Sorry, say that again. Whether
So like I guess like the prize for the person that wins is that they can pick what we play next week. So like for example, I could be like, all right, let's play Mario Party Jamboree or Super Smash Brothers or whatever. Or maybe we can at the start just like decide that maybe we've got a game of the month or something like that. Have a little bit more structured month to month rather than just be random game to random game. But we can talk about that off air, I dare say, when we're organising things.
maybe off. But I would have thought maybe the loser chooses.
Loser chooses next
There's
game.
another form of punishment.
Because I'm gonna get you punished next week by making you read some outlandish thing out. That's your punishment next week. I'm gonna.
All right.
It's not gonna be too bad. I'm not gonna get you cancelled, but it'll be funny.
Oh, Josh hates Metroidvanias. Yeah.
Yeah. Josh hates Metroidvanias, even though
he's something like that.
He is the living embodiment of a Metroidvania.
Yeah, I love going backwards, fun things.
Whatever that means.
Welcome to a bit of a Metroidvania.
That's right. Yeah. Things at the very start where you need a lot of medals.
Yes. Yeah, come back later.
Yeah. Who would have knew, eh? Crazy stuff.
Yeah,
that was fun. I enjoyed it. It was good.
Yeah, that was good. Let us know.
Let us know what you think. All right, let's end the show with some questions. We've got 4 questions here from the Discord channel. So thank you very much to the guys who left us questions. We'll get through these relatively quick, so we're not here all night. But first question from Jamie Penning. He said, "Hi, Drew and Josh. Loving the new Discord digs. What gaming magazines did you read as a kid? Personally, I read Nintendo Magazine System NMS from 1997 until their final print in 2001. See you around." So are you much of a video game magazine person growing up?
Oh, 100%. So it was K-Zone first and foremost. So not just gaming, but they had sections on gaming outside of like the cartoons and movies and TV shows. So I was big on that. But my first proper one was probably Endgamer. So I lived in the country like you, Drew. So I think I first got one of the issues in the city. And then I loved it so much because it would always come with like little extra things, not just the magazine. Like sometimes there were quiz books, sometimes there were little like little Nintendo inspired like posters and other little like trinkets that came with it. So it was cool to sort of collect those as you went along and read the magazines. Reggie was always present and mentioned a lot in those Endgamer magazines. I even had my local news agency like order it in specifically for me. And so they got it in specifically for me every month and I'd pick it up and be great. So that one. And then the official Nintendo magazine, which is in the late 2000s. So that went for a few years, I think. It kind of stopped near the end of the Wii era. It didn't last that long, I felt. But that was a good one when that was there still.
Yeah, totally. I loved the official Nintendo magazine as well. And like my favorite magazine growing up as a kid, it was Total Gamer. And it was a video game magazine full of reviews and all that. It was a similar size to a K-Zone. It was like that smaller magazine, more directed at kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. That was where I sort of first started reading about games. I used to get heaps of whatever I could get my hands on, whether it was like Hyper Magazine or K-Zone, like you said, D-Mag, all of like those kids-focused magazines. But the one I have, the most reverence for was Total Gamer. And while that's relevant to what you're talking about with official Nintendo magazine, is that like when Total Gamer shut down, that staff is what started up the official Nintendo magazine. So all of like the staff members, they are the ones who basically transitioned on to that. And yeah, I love that magazine as well. It was it was during the Wii and DS era, so those magazines had a really nice presentation, usually white backgrounds with Nintendo characters on it. And it just felt very sleek and very nice. And I've still got like a big pile of them in my old bedroom at my parents' place. And I think it was last year sometime. I'm like, are they still there? And my bookshelf was basically in like an old fireplace, and that fireplace was covered up by another cupboard. So like recently I went back there, pulled it out, and I went through like some of my old gaming magazines. It was kind of cool to go back and have a look at. So yeah, I loved gaming magazines. That was how I got all my information and all that back when I was a kid, reading reading about Pokemon games and yeah, a lot of like Game Boy Advance stuff. Because that was a system I had back when I was reading the magazines when I was 9, 10, 11. So that's what I focused on. But I was reading all about PS2 and Xbox and GameCube. I was looking at from afar, and wouldn't that be nice to be able to play Pokemon Coliseum and all of that? It was definitely where my gaming obsession started. Is just loving to read magazines, and I really do hold a lot of just very happy just with what gaming has done for me. Just my love for it. It's just like growing up, I found learning to read quite difficult. I was always like, in like a catch up class or something like that. But like video game magazines, it was like it really made me excited to read. Whenever we had like a silent reading section, I always had my video game magazine. Always had one in my bag going to school. And it really did encourage me to read, and it helped me catch up and not struggle with it as much as an adult, which I really appreciate. Even in high school, like in English, I had a really great English teacher who was able to like just give us flexibility on what we write about, and I was able to write about video games and do reviews and do retrospectives and I remember I did like one assignment on like the themes of Kid Icarus Uprising. I was obsessed with it even when it came out that year.
So good.
And all of that came from video game magazines, the idea of being a reviewer, a video game reviewer and all of that. And eventually it went to online. Like I loved like the IGN community and, all of that sort of content went online. And now it's sort of come full circle a little bit, just like the online sort of section of that is also sort of losing out towards YouTube and content creators, and more sort of specialized magazines are sort of rising from the ashes again, like Game Informer, for example, that came back from the death. Company acquired that from Stop, and like they're sort of independent and they're doing their own thing again. And there's a bunch of like Nintendo magazines and PlayStation magazines and books that you're able to get through Kickstarter and stuff. So it's kind of cool to see that again, because I've got a big nostalgia for this type of stuff. So yeah, don't know. Love video game magazines, man. I'm very nostalgic.
Yeah.
Next up, this is a question that really does link quite well to Jamie's. We got it from Zach. He says, do you guys have any memories of sending in letters to the mailbag section of magazines as a kid? Did your letters ever get picked? Josh, did you ever send anything into the mailbag and did it get picked?
I never did, no, and I really should have. I really should have engaged that kind of way. No, I just kind of read them and never bothered to do it myself. I did have a friend who I used to like. I moved away when I was about 12, so I'd lived in it was Lucendale for all those years in the southeast, and I moved to another town. But so I kept in contact with this friend, and we used to write letters to each other. And he was a big guy and that was into Nintendo, so he was the one who really got me into it. So for a lot of years there, we used to write to each other, talk about games and stuff we were doing. So that's what I was writing letters on instead of writing to official Nintendo magazine and the like.
I remember just one that I wrote, and I actually got it in. It was in Total Gamer, and it was it's pretty much like a tech question. It was when the Nintendo DS was just coming out, and I wanted to know if I could still trade Pokemon from Pokemon Emerald to Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire from a DS to a Game Boy Advance SP with a link cable, or use like the wireless. Because it's pretty obvious to me now as an adult, I guess, but the idea of like, can the wireless on the DS communicate with the wireless adapter on the Game Boy Advance? Like I basically sent in that question, be like, can I trade Pokemon between my Pokemon games now that I have a DS? Because that was like really exciting to me at the time. Be like, oh, I'm going to have two systems. Can I trade with myself? Because it was always such a massive thing. Like when I go to friends' places, I'm like, can I borrow your Game Boy Advance SP so I can like trade my Pokemon between games, so I can like maybe get them all off of one game, so then I can restart and do my adventure. It was like had to be sort of a planned thing, but I was like, well, can I do it with the DS now that I'll have it? And Total Gamer, they broke my heart. They said no, but
no.
But yeah,
Get stuff through.
That's the only experience I've had. I never really had the urge to send in anything apart from getting that very specific question I wanted answered.
Yeah, well, and you got to put in a magazine. That's awesome.
Yeah. I wish I knew what issue it was. I probably have it, but yeah. We'll never know.
Someone's got a big collection. You could look through for us.
Yeah, that's right. I'll look through the scans because I found the scans of Total Gamer online. Somebody put them up there, so I can sit through there.
Yeah.
When I've got some time to kill. Which I wish
you
I
could narrow it down to a few years window and go from there.
Yeah, maybe. I guess just around the time 2005. I guess if you're doing that, like with DS and Pokemon Emerald coming out, it would be around there. I dare say. So, yeah. See if you can find me in there. See if you can find a little Drew posting. Yeah, posting about that. Next up, we got Lemonade. Has Drew played the Atelier game? The new Atelier game. I don't remember if he talked about it or not. I have only played the demo on PlayStation 5. My physical copy got delayed maybe a month or more, and by the time it came out, I picked it up, and I haven't really had the time or inclination to really get to it, because obviously, especially now with Switch 2 out, and not having the game on Switch 2, it's only a Switch game, so I'm not really that interested in playing the Switch version. I'll be very interested in doing a Switch 2 version, but it doesn't seem like that's on the cards as of yet from Koei Tecmo, but I really loved the demo. I played it for 3 hours, and I was kind of sad that it ended for me. I wanted just to keep going, keep grinding, keep exploring. It was a lot of fun just to explore the open world in this one, and the crafting seemed pretty easy to get a hang of. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to it, but when that will be, I don't know. There's other games I'm going to prioritize, and whether I should get back to Ryza 3. I never finished Ryza 3. I wasn't as a big a fan of that game. It just seems a bit too bloated. So yes, it is in the. I do have a copy though. It's in the collection, I guess. And
you'll get to it.
I will. I like how you said it with confidence. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you will.
I will. And last of all,
just keep writing it every week, and you'll do it.
Every week, yeah. Not again. Next up, we got my friend Tom. Did Cracking Furfies with Tom for a long time. He says, I would really enjoy to hear your hopes/things you are looking forward to for the Switch 2. New games on the horizon, or even techie specs that have impressed you guys? ? It's one of those things with Nintendo where I kind of look at like the future game releases, and I'm not really here like hoping for anything specifically. I'm kind of just sat back at a Nintendo Direct being like, all right, what you got? Because at this point, I'm not like, oh, I need the new Smash Brothers. I need the new etc. in this franchise. Obviously, I've got like my shoot for the stars hopes. You know, I'm always just like Kid Icarus. I love that franchise. I'd love to see that come back. But like, I'm going to get a big pop from a new Smash Brothers. I'm going to get a big pop from a new Mario. But at this point, they're kind of just expected. So the order they decide to release them in, I'm kind of just, all right, that's what I'm playing this month, which I'm happy about. I'm glad I'm in that space, because like the Wii U sort of wait for Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash Brothers. That was like, oh my God, I need this right now. And I had to wait for a couple of years for it. It was hard. It was hard, Josh. I don't know how I got through it, but I did. But I'm not in that point now. I'm an old man. Time goes by so quickly. Before I know it, the next game's out. So
it goes super quick these days.
Yeah. I mean, tech stuff, we've already talked about that sort of at the start. But yeah, I'm very happy with the Switch 2 at the moment, and it's all going good. I'm very impressed just with just the feel of it and everything, just the quality of everything that's going on. But yeah, anything you're looking forward to with the Switch 2? Anything on the horizon? New games come to mind?
Like DK Bonanza really excites me. So the fact that that's only like less than 4 weeks away is super cool. I love 3D platformers, so I'm just going to get totally engrossed and I'm taken in by that world. And then like Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is real, and it is going to come in the next few months. because they reiterated 2025. Like that game's been on my wish list since mid 2017, so it's been a long time coming, and we're going to get it in the next few months. That's crazy, and it's going to look amazing on the Switch too. And maybe September, hopefully. So maybe 3 months or so, Drew, we're going to get that. So they're the big ones for me.
Yeah, and that sounds like a great one because, it's been a long time just waiting for Metroid Prime 4. So I do appreciate that you're not like, oh, just show me something new. Like, look, I know what's coming. Just make sure it happens, Nintendo. Anything can happen.
I want a release date, if I'm honest. Just I've seen enough of the game. I want to, give me that release date, Nintendo. I want to know exactly when I can get work off to play it.
Yes. I'm just thinking of like a day off work to play Metroid Prime. Like when we had the day off to play Mario Kart, it was like a big social thing. It was a lot of fun. But Metroid Prime's like just a lonely, sad...
Yeah, you don't really want to play that with in-game chat. That's definitely more of a, I'll call you afterwards and let you know kind of thing.
Yeah, could you imagine me just like you're concentrating on a puzzle and it's just me farting?
Boss fight starts and you start game chatting me. Be like, no, leave me alone.
No, you're like that Philbit amiibo. You go away, mate. I don't need to hear from you right now.
Fuck off right now. Yeah.
But Josh, that brings us to the end of episode 317. We've done it, mate. How do you feel?
Done.
How do you feel about how we've done it? Obviously, probably on your side of things, you can't see too much. But how did you feel it went?
It's a little different, but really good. Like different in terms of I feel blind because there's no Riverside, so I'm not looking into it. I don't know if like you're still recording, Drew. It feels a little blind from my side, but I trust that it's all working on your end and we're all good. And I love the little things that we've done to change it here with the game of the month, and then we'll challenge each other with some games, and I think it's great. So looking forward to it all a lot, and a new Discord as well. So that's been great. And obviously everyone else listening, please let us know what you think as well, and what's worked, maybe what hasn't worked, and we'll take it all on board.
Yeah, we definitely know that there was a fair bit of like mucking around trying to organise the Mario Kart match, because I honestly forgot how to get into it. I'm like, how do you do this again? But we will streamline it as time goes on. Don't worry about that.
Yes, correct.
But yes, I want to reintroduce this Nintendo jukebox that we used to do a long time ago. And the song I am going to play, I can't say the name of the title. It is a spoiler for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. It is one of the last boss battles in the game. I've been listening to this for the last couple of days in the car, just hyping myself up. I cannot get enough of the Tears of the Kingdom soundtrack. It is truly one of my favorite bits of music ever. So please enjoy as we exit the show. But until next time, guys, the doors to the House of Mario, they're closed. Hold on, my little thing's not working. There we go. They're closed. Catch you later. The House of Mario, a Nintendo podcast, is proudly recorded in South Australia. It's hosted and produced by me, Drew Agnew, alongside my co-host, Josh, or JT if you like. Be sure to check out youtube.com/iDrewby, where I share all of my other content and stream the House of Mario live every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Australian Central Standard Time. Join the Homestead Discord to be a part of our growing community, chat with fellow Nintendo fans, and get involved with the show through our mailbox channel. And don't miss JT's fortnightly Nintendo podcast, Nintendo Maniacs. Each episode features a brand new guest, and if you love the House of Mario, you'll feel right at home there too.